Hello there, you amazing viewers and subscribers. Welcome to a new Doctor Who ranking video for today. So in this video, I'm going to be ranking every single series opener of Doctor Who. So there will be a video where I rank these with the classic ones as well. But this is for the modern era of the show, from 2005 up to Flux, or Series 13 as I like to call it. I like to try and keep them all in order. So even though it's called Doctor Who Flux, I still class it as Series 13 because on BBC iPlayer I've actually put it as Series 13. Not a whole different thing. Now, ranking these episodes, I've ranked these from what I think is the worst up to the best, or to the ones I physically enjoy a lot more. So, sit there with your fish fingers and custards, your jammy dodgers, jelly babies, or whatever, and let's dive in to my list of ranking of the Doctor Who series openers. Let's dive in. So, coming into 13th place, I've had to put this one in 13th place because I do really think this one is just god awful. It is awful. It is New Earth. This is not a great way to introduce a new Doctor in a series opener. So we end up going to New Earth. So we end up going to New Earth. And of course we have the relationship between Ten and Rose really builds up on this one. And it's just like, why? Right, they bring back Lady Cassandra and then she jumps into Rose's body. Then we have that kind of awkward, kissy moment between Ten, Rose and Lady Cassandra. We have some funny moments in it with Cassandra jumping into Tennant's body going, goodness me, I'm a man. So many parts, hardly used. Oh, 2 hearts. I really like when David Tennant does the Cassandra hit in his mind as the 10th Doctor. And the way he goes there, open it, I'm ordering you to leave her. And she jumps back into Rose's body saying this. And then she jumps back into the Doctor's body saying, no matter how difficult the situation is, there's no need to shout. I do enjoy that little bits of it, but I don't really think this is a great series opener. It's not a good way to open up a series. If we jump straight into Teeth and Claw, that would be a different story. So coming into 12th place, it is The Magician's Apprentice. Yes, this is the one from Series 9, and I don't like it that much. It's Capaldi's second series, and we do again have some funny moments like we do for New Earth, with the Doctor coming in with the tank, with the guitar, and getting everybody in the medieval times to call him dude and other stuff. But really, it's not a great series opener again. Yes, okay, we have the bit with the younger Davros and the Doctor saying, come on, tell me the name of the little boy that isn't going to die today. Davros, my name is Davros. And you know by Peter Capaldi's action, it's like that. And I really enjoy that reaction to when he finds out the child's name is Davros. But the rest of it feels not as great pace for Moffat, because we have stuff going on in the medieval times. We then go to Colony South searching for the Doctor, goes to the Shekler proclamation, goes to this planet with aliens that we have seen in Doctor Who's past, and then he goes, where is the Doctor? And then of course he goes to the planet Khan where the Doctor is, and a lot of stuff does go on. And then of course it's just so Davros is dying, so not a really great opener. And then at the ending, when you see Missy, you think she's dead, but you know she survives. Clara, she dies yet again. Between this series opener and of course Series 7, Clara just keeps on dying. That's one thing I keep saying. Clara dies way too often in Doctor Who. She dies way too often. You see her being about to be exterminated. You see her bones. And then in the next episode, she's alive with Missy. And it's like, what? I just give up at this point, hoping Clara will die. Oh, wait a minute. She does die. But then again, they bring her back. So that's another thing about that one. So then in 11th place, it is The Impossible Astronaut. Now, this is the Series 6 opener that sets up the whole thing with the Doctor's death. Now, I do enjoy that build-up because you've got the Doctor's death. But instead of them going to find it all out, we have to wait for an entire whole series between episode 1 and 2 with the silence. Then 3, 4, 5 and 6 basically different. We go on to different adventures. Series 7, you're tied with the When a Good Man Goes to War, and then we have to wait until the end of the series to catch up what's been going on through the series. And then, of course, we end up with the Doctor being shot by an astronaut who turns out to be River. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Series 6, sorry. And then it's not a great opener because it's one whole series story arc, so I really think he should have done it a lot better. Not instead of like opening up to the Doctor talking to him on Lake Saluta, then he ends up dying, well, faking his regeneration really, ends up faking his death, and then we end up going to the whole thing with Space 1969 and President Nixon and all that lot, even though you still have some great moments in it. A very, very confusing series opener. So coming into 10th, in 10th place, I've had to put The Woman Who Fell to Earth. Now this one, I do enjoy a lot more than these other stories. I do enjoy this one quite a lot. The only thing about it, there is no TARDIS in it. We don't really see the TARDIS until the second episode of Jodie Whittaker's run. So you do see her talking, going, oh, I've lost my TARDIS. And so you do see some aspects of the Doctor's story, and she goes, I got something, He goes, tongue, typical lad, biology. So I do enjoy The Woman Who Fell to Earth a bit, but the thing with Tim Shaw, it goes, Tim Shaw. It's a bit, that's a little bit of a joke that just get on a bit of my nerves sometimes, because I do see people making memes of that. 9th place, Spyfall Part 1. Now, I do enjoy Spyfall Part 1 a lot more than The Woman Who Fell to Earth. I really think we have a lot of stuff going along for it with the starving. If I was going to rank it as a main whole story, the Impossible Astronaut and this episode Spyfall would probably be higher, but because this is only episode 1, like the first episode of the series, so that's another point I'm going to make across. But Spyfall Part 1, you start off quite so well. I mean, you have spies being assassinated, you've got the Doctor being on modern day Earth, fixing her TARDIS underneath, with Ryan playing basketball and Graham having a hospital checkup, and Yaz is at a police, like, trying to get the time off so she could go travelling with the Doctor. But then you see these kind of MI6 people with suits and glasses turn up for him. And then you have that wicked bit with Graham going, worst Uber ever. And then, of course, they try and get assassinated, so they go to C, played by Stephen Fry. And then he gets shot, and then they have to run to the Outback to Sacha Dhawan, where he then later on reveals in the episode, right at the end of the first part, that he is the master, he's planned all this. And I like the bit when he goes, a bit of the wicked witch, bit of the wicked witch from the west, but you know what I mean, maybe, don't you? And the Doctor goes, he goes, come on, Doctor, catch up. I did take it up for the spy, or should I say, spy master. So I really enjoy Spyfall Part 1. So now, 8th place, it is Smith and Jones. I do enjoy Smith and Jones. I think it's a fantastic story. The Doctor's lost Rose, and then he goes from that, and you still kind of seem love-sick puppy after this. I've got a load of problems with the 10th Doctor, because the 10th Doctor isn't as alien as other incarnations of himself. He feels so much human with all the romance and crappy la-di-la-di-la-di-la-di-la in his era. Not the episodes. He's got some great episodes. Not to say I just hate telling him, because I just think he feels so much human. But if you compare him to the other Doctors, he's more human than the most of them. But in this episode, you see him investigating a hospital that the Jadu have teleported to the moon, looking for the plasma for. And then also you have that genetic transfer kiss between the Doctor and Martha, and then she grows to have a crush on him. Just so la-di-la-di-da. The plasma 4 drinks the Doctor's blood. He falls to the ground. And then, of course, Martha brings him back to life by doing CPR. And he literally turns off the machine so the Jadu can teleport the whole hospital back down to Earth. That's the whole point of it. And again, I enjoy it because it's got some great aspects, like the Jadu and the plasma 4 and the Doctor being in the hospital. It's very, very a really good, like, base under Shield story. It's absolutely great. So 7th place, it is Asylum of the Daleks. Now people will be going, but this is the worst story from the Matt Smith era. I really enjoy this story because, one, it's a nod to classic Who, because we see a lot of classic Daleks design, which is great. I really enjoy that. Then, of course, we have the Daleks asking the Doctor for help for the very first time. which is something that we have not seen in Doctor Who. And then you have the Daleks going, "Save us." What? You will save us. You will save the Daleks. Save the Daleks. Save the Daleks. Yes, and this is where Clara dies for the very first time, which is something that happens in Series 7 quite a lot. She dies, comes back, dies, and then she dies again in Series 9. And then she comes back. So that's a little bit of Clara's joke. She dies, comes back, and dies. Same with Rory. I need to add up how many times Clara's died. But some of the Daleks I really enjoy, because then Clara wipes, or should I say Oswin, one of her people that got fragmented in the Doctor's time stream when she jumped into the Doctor's time stream to save the Doctor at the end of Series 7. Oswin kind of dies, and then by saving his life, she's wiped all the Daleks' memories, so that's pretty much okay. But I really enjoy this because it has the nod to the classic Daleks. Even though the Magician Apprentice has the nod to classic Daleks as well, but I really enjoyed this episode a lot more than the Magician's Apprentice. So, coming into 6, it is Partners in Crime. I really enjoy Partners in Crime. You got some great stuff in it with Tennant and Catherine Tate. Now, again, Tennant's Doctor isn't moping over Rose in this one like he was in Smith and Jones, which is an absolutely classic to see, which is really, really great to see. But then, of course, you have that great bit where he goes, "Do you know what happens if you put 2 identical sonic devices together?" "No, nor me. Let's find out." And he goes like that, and then you have that massive shockwave I do enjoy. And then you have that bit with the Doctor and Donna kind of like doing the thing like sign language to them, and they're talking and stuff. And then, of course, when she goes like that, and you have Miss Foster going, "Am I interrupting you?" And he goes, I really enjoy that episode for that little commentary. And then that bit at the end when you have the like the little pieces of fat coming to life out of people's bodies, and they've been disintegrated. So these fat people can come to life as adipose. They're called adipose, which is a great episode. 5th place, I've had to put this one in 5th place because I just really enjoy it. I've watched this now 16 times. So I've watched this now 16 times in one whole week. It is the Halloween Apocalypse. I really enjoyed this episode. I really like that cliffhanger. Can't wait to watch the second part, War of the Centaurians, which is airing in a few hours' time. By the time of recording. But I really enjoyed this episode. I really think it's great and stuff. So I don't want to give too much away because you haven't watched it. If you have watched it, it is just great, and it deserves to be in top 5. 4th place, I've had to put this one in 4th place because it feels like a whole kind of like a new reboot to Doctor Who. It is from Series 10 and it is the pilot. I really enjoyed this one. We're introduced to Bill. The Doctor's at university with Nardole. He basically wants to leave Earth because he's teaching lessons and he's talking about random stuff like space and time and stuff. He's like there being all like professory. Again, I really enjoy that because you have pictures of his wife, River Song. You got a picture of his granddaughter, Susan. You have a cup with all the sonic screwdrivers. It just feels like a whole reboot because you got a nod to the past when Nodel's there with the 4th Doctor Sonic. We have the return of the Mavellans. Heather, I really think she's a great one that gets adopted into the Puddle, and the Puddle takes over her, and she ends up going after Bill quite a lot, which I really think is great. And then she leaves Bill her tears, which is something that happens in the final episode of Series 10. I really enjoy the pilot. I think it's like a whole new reboot. It is absolutely fantastic and great. That's the one thing to say about that. So in 3rd place, it is Deep Breath. Now, I really enjoy Deep Breath. I think it's a great series opener, and not just that, I think it's the 2nd best modern post-regeneration story because you have the 12th Doctor, Clockwork Droids, the return of the Panasta Gang with Strax, Fastra and Jenny, which is their last appearance in Doctor Who. They haven't returned ever since this episode, and you still have some great stuff with the dinosaur, the Clockwork Droids burning the dinosaur for an embrace. And of course, they've got a restaurant. And the 12th Doctor also has this sonic screwdriver, which he adopts from the 11th Doctor. I really enjoy Deep Breath. I really, really enjoy it. I think it's absolutely magnificent. So my second favourite episode from the modern era, it is the 11th Hour. This one I just completely enjoy because after the end of time, you have the 11th Doctor in the 10th Doctor's TARDIS burning up and crashing into Earth. You have them in London. You've got the whole thing with the 11th Doctor hanging out. And of course, we have none of that post-regeneration stuff going on. The Doctor doesn't need to go to bed like we did for Tennant. We still have some great stuff. And Matt Smith is brilliant from the get-off. And I love it when he crashes into Emily Pond's garden. He goes, "Can I have an apple?" That's all I could think about, apples, and maybe having a craving. I really enjoyed the little bits of the food stuff where he throws the piece of bread at the door saying, "And stay out," and some other bits and dabs of the episode. I really enjoy it. I like Prisoner Zero. I like the Atraxia. I love the bit where he stands up saying, just one more. Is this planet protected? You're not the first lot to come here. Oh, there have been so many. But one thing you've got to ask is, what happened to them? And I love the bit and he walks through going, "Hello, I'm the Doctor." Basically, ran. I really enjoy the 11th Hour. I think it's a great episode. It's my second favourite series opener in Modern Who. And then, of course, when you have him get his new Sonic in, he's got a new TARDIS, he gets a new Sonic and a new Persona. And Series 5 does kick off with a bang, which is why I really enjoy Series 5 a lot more than some of the other series. I really enjoy Series 5. Really, really great. It's, to be honest with you, Series 5 is up there with my next one because I really enjoy this series, but it's not as good as the first series, which is absolutely phenomenal. So you know what the very first episode is. You know what I've put as number 1. It is Rose, because I really enjoyed it. She got Eccleston as the 9th Doctor. Plastic Autons. You got some great stuff going along in here. I really enjoyed this episode. So we've got a new Doctor, a new companion, a new TARDIS, a new outside of the TARDIS. The police box has changed. The inside the TARDIS has changed since the 1996 TV movie. We have the return of the Autons, a very classic Doctor Who enemy that has only appeared in 2 stories of Classic Who with John Pertwee's Doctor. And this story is just, I really enjoy it. Billy Piper with Eccleston, I really enjoy. Because I really think them two have got some great chemistry and great character development. Where in Series 2, I don't think Rose has any character development apart from becoming like a lovesick puppy over the 10th Doctor. And the 10th Doctor becomes a lovesick puppy over Rose. I really don't like Series 2. I think you can tell that. But I really enjoy Series 1. Series 1, if I have to say, it's my favourite series at Modern Who. Followed by Series 5. Them two are the top 2 series I really enjoy at Modern Who. But Rose, I enjoy a lot more than the 11th Hour because, one, we don't really bump into the 9th Doctor until he grabs Rose's hand and then he just delivers that first line saying, "Run," and they're running from the Autons. I love the bit and he goes, "I'm the Doctor, by the way. What's your name?" "Rose." "Nice to meet you, Rose." "Run for your life." I really enjoy Eccleston's 9th Doctor. I like the bit when he's there in the house and he's talking, goes, "Oh, not bad, could have been worse. Look at my ears." When he's talking about that still, it's like gives you that picture. That's the only time you've seen him. He's only seen his new body. I really enjoy Rose. I think it's a magnificent episode and stuff. So here is my ranking of every series of modern Doctor Who. What do you think of my ranking? What are yours? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching and have a great day.